Hopefully you were with me when I decorated my front porch for Christmas and winter, and now I am going to start designing a winter garden. When I did my front porch urn planters, I had these black violas that were like a precious find for me. Well, wait till you see some of the other precious finds I have, and that's over in the side yard. It's over in this side of my front side yard garden that I am turning into my winter garden. Now, it's not that far from where it actually started because I originally planted up this garden in March of 2025. And so this Dusty Miller was here from then. My Kilmarnock willow tree was here from then. And I reorganized things at that time. But now what I want to do is get myself some fresh flowers and colors flowing in here. And one of my most gorgeous finds are these ruffled pansies. So these ruffled pansies that you see here are called Frizzle, Sizzle, Lemonberry, and Frizzle, Sizzle, Yellow Blue Swirl. Now, the ruffled pansies are something that I've heard a lot of people talk about, and they've been very excited about special ordering these guys. And I was able to find them at a local nursery for the same cost as any other pansy. So I thought, yep, I am going to make these the new centerpiece of my winter garden. So since these guys are cold tolerant, and I have some regular purple violas to accent these guys, as well as a decorative cabbage that I had for my fall garden, and I think I'm gonna snip another cabbage that I have growing in my yard to add over here. I am going to take out the things that are not cold hardy, put these babies in, and just have something fresh. Obviously, my little pickup truck planter needs to get his fall pumpkin out of there, and I have something fun to replace that with. And the Dragon's Breath Celosia was only as an annual anyway, so I'm going to dig those guys up as well. The Dusty Miller obviously is a gorgeous, like silvery white kind of plant, so I think that's great for winter, so I'm definitely not going to mess with him. And then, let me show you something else. Also in March of last year, I had planted this regal geranium. And you can see I have fresh growth starting out from here, but I have very leggy arms on this guy. He was just blooming a few days ago before we got a really hard frost. You can see some color left in that bloom, that spent bloom. So I'm also going to clip these arms back and add a layer of mulch over this centerpiece here and see if I can't get it to overwinter for me. It's supposed to only be hardy up to zone 10. I'm in zone 8B, so I don't know if it will work, but I figure, hey, it's worth a try. So let's get going working on my winter garden. I really only have one thing to collect, and it is another cabbage like this. So let me go ahead and clip a head of cabbage, and then we're ready to rock and roll. Right here in my front garden, I had this one cabbage that I planted in fall of 2024. And when I clipped one of its heads off, which would be like a stalk like this, it grew back multi-stalks, multi-heads. So I'm just going to go ahead and I think clip this one off right here and use this guy in my winter garden. And if history repeats itself, I'm going to get new growth out of that stalk right there. It is kind of a drizzly, yucky day. So we're just going to see how much we can get done before it really lets loose and rains on us. But I'm going to get rid of my fall stuff inside my pickup truck. And I got this cutie pie little kind of faux Christmas tree from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to add that into here. And then I'm going to take out my Dragon's Breath Celosia. Let's jump right in here and cut back these regal geraniums. And then I have another geranium on the other side of the willow tree. Now this growth coming out of the ground is smaller, but that's okay. I'm still going to see if I can protect it anyway. What does this say? Regal geranium. It says it's non-hardy below 32 degrees. So it might not work at all, but why not experiment since it's in the ground? So more or less what I want to do is do a ruffled pansy and then do a plain purple, then a ruffle, then a purple, because that's the perfect amount of space right in front of our pickup truck. And then I think I'm going to do the decorative cabbage to the tail end of the pickup truck and in the front of it. And it's going to give us so much beautiful purple color. So technically pansies are considered perennials in my zone. They can be perennial to zone 7. So I am going to add some starter fertilizer to the ground. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but honestly, if they are cold hardy and they are perennial in my zone, I'm thinking I'm going to give them food. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If I have to treat them as annuals, I treat them as annuals. But if they're perennials and they could potentially last me all through the cold months, that's what we're going for here. So we have the Frizzle Sizzle Lemonberry Ruffled Pansies, and then we have the Penny Blue Violas. And then, of course, I've learned that cabbage is also a perennial for me. Now, here's really the thing. When we're talking about cold hardy things like the decorative cabbage or pansies, it's more will they survive the summer than it is will they survive the winter. Because we're really talking about things that are hardy to zone like 4. So that's quite a bit colder than where I am here. So this is called the Color Up Purple Flowering Cabbage. And also, while I'm in here, I'm going to just deadhead my dianthus in whatever spots I can, simply because dianthus is also a cold weather bloomer. And I do see lots of buds on here. And then I'm going to take my other decorative cabbage that I just clipped off from my front, and I cut the stem down on this guy. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but we're going to experiment and see if this works. I have clipped cabbage heads before, and I have planted the stems and gotten them to reroot, so we're just going to see if this one works as well. And then do the same thing with the dianthus that I have growing around here. And clip off dead foliage and deadhead. How adorable of a winter garden this is. I have the just slight blooms of the dianthus still, so that'll come back more. And it especially, as I said, it's a cold weather bloomer. So now that I've clipped it back a little bit, I would not be surprised to see blooms on the dianthus throughout the winter, but it'll mainly start coming back probably in around March timeframe. In retrospect, I wish I did not cut the stem of that cabbage down as low as I did, because then it would sit a little taller like this one and give me better symmetry. But oh well, I'm not going to clip another head off just for that. We'll kind of just see what happens and go from there. But my pickup truck for now looks good with even just the one faux Christmas tree in the back of it. And of course the pansies, the ruffled pansies in particular, are fabulous, and I'm glad I have them, and I'm glad I didn't spend extra money to have them above and beyond what any other pansy would cost. So the colors are delightful, this shape and style is delightful, and this little garden over here surely doesn't look empty even now in the cold months and the winter time, which I'm thrilled about. So hopefully I'll continue to have color over here throughout the winter. And as I said, zone 8, that's what I am planting for right now, so for the winter interest throughout. Hope this was helpful for you, and I enjoyed this so much, being outside with my hands in the dirt even during this season of the year. Follow me on social media for more gardening inspiration, and until next time, you guys, happy planting.